Hello, everyone. Welcome to our 10th episode of The Ruins of Warsaw. I'm Alexandra, and I'm the storyteller.
Hi, I'm Dolores, and I'm playing Janina of Clan Bruja.
Hi, my name is Faye, and I'm playing Beatrice of Clan Malkavian.
Jesus.
Hi, I am Aurora, and I'm playing Mara of Clan Masquerade.
Is everything okay on your end, Dolores?
Yes, I had Twitch, so I wanted to write in chats, but I had to close it because it was doubling for some reason.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, it does that. But I'm glad it's sorted out. Definitely happened to me before, as you can see. We still have technical issues from time to time, but hopefully nothing will interrupt us. And I think with that, we are ready to go into the recap of the previous session. When the coterie woke up in their new and hopefully temporary home, that is Hotel Bristol, where a number of Camarilla kindred reside, Mara was feeling hungry, so she decided to go hunt reasonably, well, in a reasonable distance from the hotel. However, that didn't quite go as planned, and she was spotted. After which she decided to track the people who saw her and walked. Well, that took considerable time. But she managed to get their addresses and even break into one of their homes and get one more sip of Vita. Meanwhile, Bea and Janina were reasonably worried. Bea had a chat with her sire, Felicia, during which Felicia revealed that she'd been tasked with finding the Malkavian Primogen, and will have to focus on that, and wanted Coterie's help, but Sheriff had a different task for them for now. Janina had a chat with her Primogen, who noticed she wasn't feeling very well, having killed the man she tried to help in some way, Pavel, the night before. And they had a discussion about guilt and remorse, and pain that it brings, and also the anger and potential to lose control that comes with being a bruja. He also promised her to look for medical books for her, as he seems to have quite a good collection of various scientific texts. And you hang out in the Elysium for a bit more, until finally Mara turned up. And you all set out to perform your task from the sheriff at a clinic on the other side of Vistula River, much closer to your old haven than to Hotel Bristol. You found the clinic, which was in an old building that belonged to the church that got now converted into its medical establishment. Janina and Bea managed to, pretend to have a job there and actually start performing that job, taking care of typhus patients. In the process, Bea had a rather disturbing omen about something having been raptured in the city and something coming out. You also managed to identify that the inquiry about symptoms that indicate kindred condition was made by the doctor who runs the clinic on a request of one of the nurses. You identified the nurse and decided that Mara would follow her to see where she goes, while Janina and Bea stayed to keep working at the clinic. with the priest sitting outside and observing the building, clearly suspicious of something, and with Janina's former friend working at the same clinic. And we will start with Mara. As you are following Joanna, the nurse, who just left the church grounds, turned left and started walking. She walks at a rather quick pace, very straight, looking straight ahead, very confidently.
I keep an eye while I follow her. I keep an eye if I see other people following her. Some strange, anything that can seem suspicious.
All right. Perception and alertness with difficulty 6.
Three successes.
3 successes. So first of all, you see the priest follow with his eyes. You realize that he is, as long as he can see her, and well, you don't know if he can see you, but clearly is looking around her. Seems to be, he doesn't stand up to actually follow, but observes as Joanna walks away. And then you turn the corner, walk ahead, turn another corner. You see now that there are like smaller houses rather than several stories buildings. You walk among those houses. You don't think there's anyone else following her or observing at this moment. Called the Anka that is now closed. But there are 2 men sitting and smoking outside. You notice that they like stare at Joanna, shout a few things her way, but she just ignores them and walks straight ahead, not paying them any mind. How close are you staying to her?
Well, I think pretty close since I am invisible, and there are no creepy priests around, so.
No. Priests stay by the church.
Okay, so I'm pretty close to her.
Yes. Okay. And you're walking, and she turns corner a few more times. It's not quite far. It's more that there's a lot of intersecting streets in this area, and starts going straight ahead. And you see a man sitting on what you think is a tree stump. He just left after a tree that was cut down. And he stands up and starts walking towards you. And you notice this even before Joanna does. He has eyes locked on her. She doesn't seem to notice him at first. And after a while, unless you wish to do something.
The man is approaching her?
Yeah, he starts walking. He just stood up and starts walking.
I keep close to her and I see what's going on, if they talk, if they know each other. Who is this man?
Yeah. So you see him waving, and after a while she finally notices him and looks kind of surprised, but she smiles, and waves back at him. And he comes up. She asks, "What are you doing here?" He comes up and kisses her on the cheek, and says, Leo told me to go pick you up and to be careful. She looks a bit confused at this. Well, I suppose I shouldn't question it. But good to see you anyway. I'm rather tired. Shall we just go home? The man shrugs, looks around, doesn't see you, of course, but looks as if looking for something.
It seems human to me.
As far as you can tell, yes.
Okay. I just keep stalking them and.
Yeah. He puts his arm around her, and they start walking together. He just says, I don't know what this is about, but you know how he gets, and I don't want to get into any arguments with him. She shrugs as well. No, I guess we shouldn't. And they keep walking. I assume you follow them.
Yes, it's very creepy, but yes. Like, I'm stalking the couple and I'm staying close enough to hear them and what they are talking about.
Yeah. They don't talk much after that. He asks her how was work. She says that that like they got some relief in more stuff, so it wasn't as hard, and she finished earlier. And then she's like, how did you know? How did he know? And she just waves her hand, and the man just shrugs. You get a closer look at him now. He looks to be in his early 30s. He's very tall and thin. His hair is receding a bit. His clothes are decent, but fairly worn out. And they're walking fairly close to each other. She leans on him. Looks more relaxed now. Before you saw her, she was very tense and holding herself very straight. Now she sort of unwinds. And after a few more streets that you pass, turning one more corner, you get to a house that is partially burned. It's clearly fallen into ruin, but there is light coming from some windows, particularly in like downstairs and basement area. And they start walking towards the house.
The house has the lights on?
Yes.
Okay, so there are another person. I keep being extremely creepy and following them.
Right, so they get to the door, and man takes out keys and opens the door.
There are windows?
There are windows, there are curtains in a lot of them, but you might be able to get a glance like between the curtains.
No, okay. I'm okay. I'll try to pick from the curtains because if they are more than one person, I'm not strong enough to eventually handling them.
Yeah. Even if they were one person, you might have an issue. Sorry.
One person is. I can have a chance, but three mortals, no.
So you don't attempt to walk in with them?
No, I don't want to be trapped with the mortals. I'm scared. I pick.
Okay.
From
so
the windows the same.
So they go inside, lock the door behind them, and you move around the house, peeping through like cracks and curtains. And after a while of doing that, there's like different rooms. Some rooms you look in, you don't think there's much there. You get a sense that it's fairly sparse. Like you see some furniture in there. It reminds you of your haven a bit. It's very makeshift. It has furniture that looks like they just gathered it where they could find some from the stuff that got abandoned, from some destroyed buildings. They constructed some on their own. They don't have much in way of decorating. And as you're looking, you see them as they sits on a couch. The woman just relaxes. The man walks, brings her some tea. And you get a glimpse of another man who looks to be in his mid-20s, is also very thin, even more like than the man you've seen before, very unhealthily so, has a bit sunken face. It reminds you of like effect of exhaustion and starvation you would see during the war years in people. So he looks like that. And you also spot another man who also looks to be in his 20s, with dark hair, very dark eyes, fairly handsome, much better built, with like much stronger, more muscular build. And you see them walking around. The very thin, unhealthy looking man has a conversation quietly with the nurse. She just shakes her head. She seems very confused by what he's saying. He looks around. He just looks around. For a moment, you think he looks like at where you're looking through the cracks, but then his eyes just won't continue wandering.
The unhealthy looking man seems unhealthy in a human way, or unhealthy like a corpse pale?
Roll intelligence and medicine.
Okay, this time.
And because you're only seeing him through like a crack in the curtains, and you can't actually examine him, I'm gonna give you difficulty 8.
I can do that. Maybe. One success.
One success. So it looks like humans would look if they were like exhausted and starving. But upon observing him, there is something about him like that may indicate he's a kindred. Even like the fact that people are still in bad condition, but he seems in significantly worse condition than his companions here that state. And you can see they have food and are isn't, and the other man isn't, but they bring the nurse some like proper food. So they seem to be doing all right for that now, which indicates he might be kindred who stayed in that state.
Everyone but him eat or drink or other.
You don't see. You see the nurse eating and drinking tea. And you see the man who walked with her drinking tea. The other man you don't really see. He seems to have gone to some other room now. And you haven't seen him eating or drinking, and you don't see the unhealthy looking man eating or drinking.
Suspicious. Okay. I am very suspicious, and I have time because I want to go back to the girls and in time, at a reasonable time, to debrief about the mission. So I don't want to stay.
Yeah, I think you were supposed to meet at the hotel already.
Yes.
You can stay a bit longer here, but then you would need to start walking back to the hotel.
Okay, I try to get her anything if I say something unusual. If the two men in the house eat or drinks while I'm stalking them, things like that. I'm trying to figure out who is Kindred and who is not.
Okay, right. We'll get to that. Meanwhile, Janina and Belle, you're working at the clinic.
I think we were attempting to wrap up and then make our excuses.
But before you do that, Janina,
good.
are you trying to avoid Sarah?
I probably will.
Then roll me wits and stealth with difficulty 7. As you are, you don't have an easy way of doing that, as you are walking among patients.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm shorter than you.
Okay, wits and... What was the difficulty?
7.
Okay, I have 2 10s and 2 other successes.
Oh yeah, like no problem. You are very alert all the time, and you manage to disappear
Oh no.
behind the door, around the corner. I stand behind Bella.
All right.
Right. And you wanted to wrap up and go. Is there anything else you wish to do? You intended to talk to the doctor, but do you still want to do that?
I guess we do need to speak to him just to say that we've been called away for work in other other hospitals and clinics. So we're not going to be regular.
Okay. So you look for him. Easy enough. You find him in one of the rooms downstairs. He looks to you. Oh, all right. Can I help you somehow? Do you need anything?
No, I'm really sorry. I was meaning to mention this to you earlier, but it completely slipped my mind. I was just thinking about so many things with starting here again. We've been called away. We're actually working for a multitude of different places, and they're sparing us when they can.
Who told you? Wait, who sent you here? I need to talk to them. I need more staff. Can you give me their name? And
Janina, did you have a name?
Yes, it's Witold. From
Witold.
I only have his name. I don't have the
right. I don't remember Witold's surname at the moment. But you give him Witold's name.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Well, I'll give him a call and I'll say I need you to finish up. One of my nurses went home and will be really short-handed if you go.
I know. We're very sorry. We will try maybe some other day when we can go here. But maybe they will send you someone else.
Well, I will call this Witold and have a chat with him.
Yes, of
course.
I
try to numb any of the anxieties that he's feeling right now?
Absolutely, yes. Roll.
Cool.
What was that?
It's good to have Bear.
Charisma and empathy. With difficulty 7.
Just smooth over all faux pas. Sorry, what was the difficulty? 7?
7.
Okay. I have a 10, a 9, and a 7, so that's 3 successes.
3 successes. Okay. So you focus on him and his emotions and reach out, wanting to numb things. And he looks to you almost as if he'd forgotten something. It's like, oh, all right, just go. I'll cope with it. You just go.
Thank you.
Take care.
He doesn't pay you any mind. He just turns back and starts taking care of patients.
I then take Janina by the elbow and just start moving towards the door.
And I will whisper, thanks, Bear.
I've got your back.
And you leave. As you're leaving, you notice that the priest is still sitting there. Looks to you as you exit the building, keeping the rosary in his hands.
I will smile at him.
I wish him a good evening.
Good evening. He looks to you with a very sort of strange expression.
Could I try and see if I get any omens about this man? Because he's giving me some bad vibes. Or
You
good
got
vibes.
some stuff about him before that when you looked for supernatural and out of the ordinary things.
Yeah. I think I looked at him with aura perception previously.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, you can absolutely try. Perception and awareness. Difficulty 7.
Okay.
What do you want to learn, especially?
Is he going to be a future problem? Do I need to worry about this person or not?
All right.
It's less specific and more just. That is 3 successes.
3 successes. So you glance around. And you notice, as you often do, the stars. Like from among the clouds that are in the sky. And you notice one that shines especially bright. And then you see one of the street lights, and you see how its light's even brighter. And the light is so bright that it almost covers the stars in the sky. And you know that his dedication and faith and sense of duty shine very bright, and that he wants to be he seeks you don't get a sense of danger unless
We don't mess with him. I will carry on then.
So you start walking back. He looks for a moment as you are walking away. He stands up as you leave the church grounds.
And sprays the holy water.
No, he doesn't do that. You start walking away, and you hear his footsteps on the path, and he comes up to the church gate, to the church grounds, goes outside, takes a few more steps, looks towards you as you walk away, and then you turn the corner, and you don't see him anymore, and you don't hear more footsteps.
Lovely. Once we're a couple of streets away, I will turn to Janina. I think as long as we leave him and his flock alone, we should be fine.
Yes, so no feeding around here.
No.
Okay.
We'll keep to ours and he'll keep to his.
All right. I have no intention to running into him.
Yes. And I have no intention of feeding in a typhus clinic, so, you know.
Yeah, same.
At home.
So you're heading back to Hotel Bristol.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking about on the way back there?
I'm thinking about the events of the evening, about helping out at the clinic. There was something nice about looking after others, even if I didn't necessarily care about them. It was nice to feel useful. And babied. So I was learning as a student and not as a child. The priest is a mild concern, but now that I know that as long as I leave him be, he won't be an issue, I'm less concerned. So I'm feeling relatively optimistic by our standards, I guess.
You're freezing.
Okay. Everything froze for me for a moment.
Yeah, you froze.
I hope it won't happen anymore. But yeah, hopefully it will be fine now. How about you, Janina? What's going through your head on the way
I
back?
think she thinks about possibly meeting Sarah. At least now she knows that where she works, and maybe she wants to prepare herself before meeting her, so she could be more prepared to see her, because she knew she was like around somewhere in the city, but it has been some time since she saw her last time. And so she wants to prepare herself if they want to meet again. So now she knows where to look for her. And then I think she also enjoyed the fact that for a moment she could forget about being a vampire and she could do what she was used to doing. And it felt very good. And also with Bea, I think they don't have as much time together as she has with Mara. So it also felt a bit bonding.
Nice.
And she felt like she's all wisdom to her and not the other way around, as Bea is the eldest one. And so for once it was Janina's field, so she could teach her something. And I don't think Janina worries much about the priest, especially after what Bea said to her, because she didn't know as much about the true fate and everything, and she doesn't have Auspex, so she doesn't really felt much like he was like weird, but nothing else. So that's probably what she's thinking about.
That's absolutely fair. And you walk back past the park where it's on the way and across the bridge towards Hotel Bristol. Meanwhile, Mara, you are looking around. Roll me perception and alertness with difficulty 7.
Perception and alert. Difficulty?
7.
3 successes.
3 successes. So you are looking for signs of who might be Kindred there. And well, apart from seeing you first see the woman eating, and she goes to sleep quite soon after that man. And you see a better built, more muscular man get a drink of water at some point as well. But you don't see the unhealthy looking one eat or drink anything. And the two are sitting and chatting. You see the muscular one taking a rifle and cleaning it. The unhealthy looking talking to him very quietly. He looks around a bit. You also notice that there's a tree growing not far to the house. So if you wanted to sneak in, you could try to climb a tree. And because part of the house is burnt, there are like places where you could just go for a broken wall. But if you want to get back safely to the hotel, you should start walking soonish.
Okay. I'm actually pretty athletic, so I could try to climb the tree.
Oh my god. I vividly...
You want to climb Do you want to get into the house?
Hmm.
You
I
can
have
climb the
time.
tree, no problem. Well, like, depends how long you stay inside. You have time to go in and think. If you like run back, look at the brisker pace, you should make it. If you stay a bit longer, you'd be cutting it very close. For like a look, definitely. But if you were to be
the super unhealthy guy didn't seem to see me. They suspected Kindred
for a moment. He stopped for a moment when like his eye almost met yours, but then he kept looking.
Okay, let's do this.
Clara and her adventures.
Yeah,
I love
I
that.
can do this.
Alright, so if you want to get into the house and be quiet about it, that's gonna be difficulty 8. If you don't want to bother about being quiet.
No, I try to be quiet. Is dexterity and
athletics.
No, not bad. I'll spend a point of willpower.
Okay.
It's the time to shine. Luckily, I spent a point of willpower. No successes.
Okay, but you spent a point of willpower.
But it could be very... No, I actually, I have 1 successes, willpower, and 2 ones. So I failed, but I could have failed worse. So
okay, right.
I just normally fail.
Okay. So you start climbing the tree.
Poor Mara.
And you walk on one of the branches. And it must have been a ring or something. And you slip. And you lose your balance. And you fall down. Making quite a lot of noise.
Okay.
Roll your stamina, please.
So only stamina.
Only stamina. Tell me if it's above 6 or not.
1. Meaning 1 and not 1.
Then take 1 bashing damage. Well, I'm quite high.
It must have been a glorious sight.
Yes. I
and as you fall down, you hear someone shouting, what is this? And another, oh, we need to go check this out. And you hear footsteps within the house.
I'm still
Well, you fell down a tree. You definitely drew attention to yourself, but you can try to, obfuscate again. It's not that much of an issue.
Yes, I art more in my pride than in my body. My plan is to get invisible again and run away in shame.
As you do that, roll me your wit and stealth.
Wit? Okay.
Wit and stealth.
Okay. Successes. And
4 successes.
4.
Okay, right. So you hear the door opening. out. And if you glance back, you see the two men looking around. But you like it, and they don't pursue.
Poor Mara. Her pride.
I could have sneaked inside, but I'm too ashamed of myself for that. I just. But I will return. The end of the tree. Just wait.
Y'all say that I need the leash.
I go. I very ashamedly go back to my coterie in darkness and shame.
All right, not happy with it at all. Janina and Vera, you reach Hotel Bristol a bit earlier than Mara does. As you walk in, it's pretty empty. There is Ghoul Mariusz at the reception. He nods to you. There aren't many people. There are like two men sitting in the cafe, smoking, having conversation, and some staff just eyeing them rather tiredly, clearly waiting for them to go away so that they can close up. And as you proceed, where do you want to head? Do you want to head to your room?
Yeah.
Want to head?
I don't remember when we decided
we'd
to
meet
meet.
in yours and Mara's room.
Okay, then we go there to check if Mara's there.
You also see Eliza, who's sitting there with a book. She notices you, smiles, nods to you. There's a little wave, goes back to her reading. And you proceed towards Janina and Mara's room. You get there without any problems. No one stops you. And you're there. And after a while, Mara, you also get to the hotel. You're faced with the door that is closed and you need to open it somehow.
It's the room. It's the door of the hotel proper.
Yeah. The door of the hotel. You can try to find like a back entrance to the kitchen or something.
Okay, I still feel very ashamed, so I'll go for the back entrance if I can.
It takes you a moment, but you find another door. You find also a moment when someone goes out to take some rubbish out, and you are able to sneak inside. You wander around a bit, but you manage to find your way to areas for the guests. I assume you're heading to the same room.
Yes.
So Mara joins you after a while.
I have like a twig in some show.
Yes, she's like a bit dirt, some dirt on her face, on her clothes. There are like few twigs and leaves in her hair.
Are we just sitting and playing cards?
Okay.
What happened to you?
First of all, the mission was a complete success.
Yeah.
Right.
First of all, absolutely. I think I found our kindred. It's they all live together. There are 4 individuals living in this house with this man. I think is the man we are looking for. They are there are the nurse, the other 3 individuals. One of them is the one we are looking for, I think. is the only one who doesn't drink and doesn't eat anything.
Do you think they are family?
I don't know. I think they are trying to help our fellow vampire.
Oh.
I think they are very scared and nervous. I don't know how much they know, but they know they have X. So they probably know something.
All right. And what happened with you? And I take the twig from her hair.
I tried an infiltration tactic, but it really defeated me.
Oh no. Are you okay?
Yes, a bit. I probably should heal up a bit, but I'm okay.
All right.
The tree was fierce, but I am strong.
All right.
Nice to see your branching out. Sorry, I'm going to go to bed on that note.
Mara glares and pick up the twig. And you, everything was fine.
So, do you think nobody noticed you?
No, nobody saw me. Not even the Kindred.
So, what do you think our next action should be?
We should have a chat with this man.
Right. So, should we tomorrow night go to their haven? His haven?
Yes, I think, my opinion. Let's first try with being civil and speaking calmly.
Yes.
Let's see, maybe he just doesn't know.
Yes. Oh, Aurora froze.
Oh,
Oops.
In the middle of such an important sentence.
well, let's hope she comes back. In the meantime, how are you feeling about this bear? All the stuff you're hearing?
A little amused. But also it's interesting to know that there's a kindred there. I'm wondering if they are to the frenzied feeding that's been going on, but if they're managing to live amongst 4 humans, seems unlikely. Unless they're holding themselves out and then just wandering off into the street. I don't know. It's certainly something we should look into. But I'm glad that Mara got home safe. We've lost Aurora entirely. Good.
Maybe she's
There she is.
Back.
Oh yeah.
Internet
Hey, you're
connection
back.
as always. I'm very sorry, everyone.
R.I.P.
It's like the tree defeated you.
Exactly. What was the last thing you hear before I disappear?
Good
Next time.
civil approach.
Okay. Let's just have a friendly chat and see what we are dealing with before we take more.
Yes. Maybe they just don't know what happened to them, and maybe they are looking for help.
Maybe let's know. Maybe he doesn't know what it is. Maybe was like it was for me. Maybe
Yes.
we cannot
We should
know.
give him a chance.
Yes.
I'd like to take
but-
a look at him before we make any judgments. I can maybe get an idea as to what sort of a person
Yes.
he is.
Good idea. Also, we have to ascertain what exactly he had told to the three mortals that live with him.
And whether they're ghouls or not is also...
It's a possibility. They seem very nervous, so I don't know. I don't know if they already had some contact with. They seem a bit on edge. They're expecting trouble.
Perhaps he has some ability of perception.
Maybe.
He didn't seem to see me, but maybe I'm just very good at hiding. Don't know. Let's just go, I think, for the friendly approach first.
Yes.
We'll get to the root of the problem tomorrow. In the meantime, I'm going to leave. And
say hi to Mother.
I will. Good night.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night.
It was a pleasure working with you.
Yes, it was very interesting, most informative. I've taken notes, so maybe I'll remember something.
I'm sure you will.
I heal a bit. I heal my shame.
Excellent. I don't think you can spend the blood points to heal your shame, but you can heal the damage you took.
Yes.
So Bea, you leave the room and head to Felicia's room.
Yes.
She opens the door for you, smiles. Oh, I'm glad to see you're back. Are you all back safely?
Yes, we're all back.
How was your day? How did it go?
It was very interesting, actually. Went to the clinic that we're investigating. Janina and I even worked there for an evening. So.
That's something I certainly didn't expect. What did you do?
Oh, I was helping taking temperatures and bringing water. I wasn't doing anything complicated, but Janina got to put her skills to good use, which it's nice to see.
That's lovely. That's lovely. You got to help people. I'm sure she taught you well in that.
Yes, I've got some notes and everything. But we did figure out who it was that was bringing all the Kindred related things to mortals' attention. And we're going to follow that up tomorrow.
Right. Do they seem dangerous at all?
Well, the person that brought it to them was one of the other nurses. She seemed concerned about it, and Mara followed her back with a couple of other people that she thinks were mortals, and one possibly Kindred. She thinks that they're tense, but we're unsure whether they're dangerous. So we're going to go and observe them and see what we think. And then potentially make contact. Of course.
Just be careful, my dear. And she pats your hair and head as she does that, leaving you to sit on the bed. She sits there with you. I'm afraid I'm going to have to leave on my mission tomorrow as well. I should be back. I don't plan on. How do you look for someone who might not wish to be found?
Yes.
And if an expert at hiding, that's a true problem there, but the prince seems I am up to the task, or at least she has no one else to give it to. The second one's probably more likely. But I'll do what I can.
I believe in you.
Oh, they must resurface at some point.
Of course. Well, maybe if we get our task done quickly enough, I can help out.
Oh, I'd really appreciate that. I was just reading some poetry from last evening. Would you like me to read you some more?
Yes, that would be lovely. And I'll start getting ready for bed while listening.
And as she reads you more poems about the mountains and the beauty of it and life there, and mountain walks and hikes. And then she starts getting ready for bed as well. And you lie down, both of you. And rises, you fall asleep. You can roll me your nightmares roll.
That's what?
Yes. Meanwhile, and Mara, you're left in the room. You are getting tired. Okay. Is there anything else you wish to do to sleep?
I think I probably just make Mara will make herself present, at least a bit present, picking up leaf and dirt, and then she will basically prepare to go to sleep as well. After she's
okay, so you take a shower and like you wash yourself, clean off the dirt and the leaves from your hair. Janina.
I will probably just lay there and wait for the sun to rise and to go to sleep. Maybe make some funny notes towards Mara and her appearance, just to tease her a bit, but just in a friendly sisterly way.
So you do that a bit, and then you also fall asleep as the sun rises. And another day passes as you all sleep calmly in Hotel Bristol. And not long after the next sunset, Janina, you wake up. You can all subtract blood for the night. You can also regain willpower, 1 point. And Bea is your nature caregiver.
It says yes.
I think you can regain 1 more point for spending most of the night taking care of people.
Okay.
Generally, if you feel like you should regain willpower based on your nature or demeanor, feel free to tell me and remind me.
I survived the 3.
No, that doesn't count.
Okay.
Janina, how much blood do you have left now?
I have 5.
So you wake up and you are feeling somewhat hungry.
All right. I will try to push that thought away, because
You can, for now.
because just the idea of it stresses me, and I will want. I know that it's not that I should maybe take care of it right now, but I don't want to. I just want to avoid it for a bit.
Okay.
That's the worst that can happen.
So you wait for Mara to wake up. Do
Yes.
you do anything in the meantime?
I probably braid her hair while she sleeps.
So you are braiding her hair. Mara, how much left now?
Blood, I am at 4 again.
So you wake up as well. you feel some hand tugging gently at your hair. And you feel hungry somewhat as well.
As usual. What?
I'm sorry. I was just...
Hello.
Hi. I'm sorry. I was
Don't worry. Don't worry.
trying to pass time. There's nothing much to do.
Don't worry. I think you can play with my hair. You can keep braid if you want. At some point, I will have to hunt again.
Yes, me too.
I really have to.
But
I really have to start to. I don't know.
I think we should do it together, also with Bea, because I really don't want to do it, but I don't know. It just, after what happened last time, I just feel scared.
Hey, why? You can't fuck up more than me yesterday, so don't worry.
Well, we can debate about this.
Hey,
How do you feel about that, Janina?
Well, I think
fucked up quite spectacularly before.
Yes, I feel like Mara doesn't really grasp how much it hurt me to kill someone, and I know she's trying to make me feel better and everything. It feels inappropriate a bit, but I'm not saying anything. I'm just trying to say that maybe we can go to Bea.
It was not your fault, okay?
Thank you.
It was not your fault.
Thank you. And I gently stroke her hair.
Okay. You can do another braid if you want.
All right. We can wait before, and I will do the French braid.
Okay.
Mara.
Yes, sir. Yeah. You also wake up a bit later. Having slept calmly. You are in this room, you don't... But Felicia is near you. Still sleeping.
I go and pick up my notebook and flick through it for a few pages to try to refresh the memory. And once I'm feeling a bit more grounded, then I'll get up and explore the room a bit. Maybe figure out that we have a shower with working water.
Yes.
That's very exciting. It's luxury.
As you explore the room, you find some of your things, Felicia's things, some books of poetry.
I'll get ready. I'll start getting ready for the day.
So you start getting ready. And even before you finish, as you're doing your makeup, Felicia stirs. She sits up. Good evening, my dear.
Good evening, Mother. How did you sleep?
Oh, very well, thank you. How about you?
I can't remember, so it must have been fine.
Oh, exactly. I'm always glad to hear that. Well, you get so distressed sometimes from the nightmares, and that worries me a lot, but I'm glad you're feeling well. And she strokes your hair. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention that yesterday. I don't know if I'll get a chance to speak to Mara, but I asked about, her clanmate that she wanted to meet, and the little girl who insists she's not so little anymore, Rahela, can take her to him.
Okay. I make a note in my book.
She said she can introduce them.
Excellent. I start going through my book, trying to find a description of a little girl who maybe isn't a little girl.
You find description of Rahela. You actually find her also quite a way back from when you were at the cathedral. I see mentions of her here and there. You find out that she gave you the phone number to call Camarilla.
Yeah. Good. That's positive. Mara has obfuscated again.
Yes, it seems technology is really not benevolent today.
No, apparently
not. Every now and then the Nosferatu appear.
Yes,
welcome back.
That.
Okay. So yes, I'll finish making, and then well, I don't know what room the others are in, so I'll wait here for them.
Do you head towards Bea's room eventually?
We knock.
There is knocking at the door.
I'll go and open it.
And you will meet. Felicia smiles. Oh, girls, come on in. Good to see you. I heard you had some success yesterday. I'm very glad to hear that. It's always good to see your wards and pupils prosper and learn new things.
Thank you very much.
I was just telling Bea, Mara, the little girl, Rahela, can introduce you to your clanmate that you wish to meet.
Oh, that would be very, very appreciated.
That she knows where he hangs out. Well, that's the way she said.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
Well,
but I fear...
to her. I know she walks out a bit. I'm concerned about that. I think she's still way too young for that, but I guess that's Bruno's responsibility.
The too young Mara just roll her eyes, but that doesn't make any comment. Okay, but I don't know. I think we have work to do before I can satisfy my curiosity. I fear.
Oh, that's perfectly reasonable attitude. Work before pleasure. That's how you get to achieve the great things. Glad to see you're such responsible young women. And she gives you very kind smile.
Mimo. It's gonna be new Justin.
I'm very responsible.
So, we've got a house to go and stake out?
Yes. We have to watch the person who may be a kindred.
Yes.
And Aurora.
Aurora.
I mean Mara. Mara has the address.
Yes. But you can probably see things. So maybe you can watch at a distance. I don't know.
Yes.
Yes.
If we can find a bench or something to sit at.
There's a tree.
I look a bit curious at that, but say nothing.
Felicia also looks a bit curious at that.
Oh, that's and I wink at Mara.
He glares at Janina.
I'm the only one now who knows now.
Yes, I didn't take any notes about the tree, so you're safe.
We have
Oh,
work to do.
well, I will leave you to it then. I thought we are ready. I need to set out on my own mission. But I hope to see you before we all go to sleep.
Fingers crossed. Will Roman be coming with you?
Oh, no. Roman has some of his own tasks. I haven't spoken to him since we got to this hotel. He disappeared. Well,
Insight
don't
check.
viewers.
I
Yeah, roll perception and empathy. Difficulty 6.
One success.
You can't tell what she's thinking at all. Is there anything you want to ask her?
No, it's useless. She never tell me what's happened with Roman, so for now I will not press the issue. So are you going on your own? On your mission?
Oh yes, I'm gonna look around and look for well, some signs of my own, I suppose.
Be careful. Be careful.
I will be. I'm not setting out to any dangerous areas.
Would you like me to do a reading for you before you set off?
Oh, that would be very appreciated.
Of course.
Yes.
Please.
Yeah.
I pull out the pack of cards that I keep in my bag and just start shuffling them and lay them out almost as one would a tarot deck, but they're just playing cards.
All right. And what do you want to find out?
I want to see whether Mother will be safe.
Okay. So roll, perception and awareness, as always. Difficulty 7.
Okay, so that is 3 8s and a 10. So that is 5 successes.
5 successes. So you get one card in the middle, one of the queens, which you know represents Felicia. And then you lay out other cards, and there are no other figures, just cards with numbers around her. And the way there's no one there who would pose the threat. But you know she also won't find anyone.
Don't break it to her.
At least not in the immediate future.
Well, I have good news and less good news. There will be no threats to you tonight, but I don't think tonight is going to be particularly prosperous.
I don't suppose I can give that as an excuse to the king.
No, I imagine not.
Inside for one more night, although it's never much for useless endeavors, but I guess maybe whatever I find will pay off in one way or another later, and I still need to try.
If nothing else, it might give you a better...
Yes, I'm sure that will also... Well, I'm glad to know there's nothing that would threaten me, at least tonight. Thank you so much, Bea. I'm very glad around and do that. You're a great help.
That can help.
Well, I need to get going anyway. You girls be careful.
You as well.
Always.
Make sure you leave yourself plenty of time to get back.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And she gives you back a kiss on the cheek. Pats your hair a bit and leaves you.
Oh, but then start packing up to prepare to leave.
Okay, so we will probably also have to hunt at some point.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
But first I would like to know what we are face here is just Kindred. Survival is dangerous. I don't know.
Okay. I put my map and ask Mara to point out where the address was.
I explain. I show them where it was. What is around. I don't mention any tree. I like to.
Okay, right. Yeah, you can. You sort of. It's very difficult to find on a map. You're reasonably certain you can find a way back there. It wasn't that far from the clinic. It wasn't a long walk. It was maybe 15, 20 minutes. And so you have a general area where you think it is. But much better just leading the way, like from the clinic, or the way you got back, tracing your steps.
Once I have a rough area, I take off my locket and just start dangling it over the area and swirling it, and then I drop it and watch the pattern of the chain across the and the words that are on the map, and try to look for what waits for us at the house.
All right. Then roll perception awareness. With difficulty 8, as you're doing it immediately after doing it before, and you're straining senses a bit.
I think I'll spend a willpower.
All right.
Okay. Oh boy. Okay. Well, that was not needed. It's a 7, 3 9s, and 2 10s. So many.
That's of successes.
Yeah, 9 successes, including the willpower.
So you swirl your locket, and you drop it, and it bounces, and you watch the patterns of a chain, and it actually rolls off the map and falls. But as it does, in the movement of a chain, and the way the locket just bounces off and disappears under the bed for a moment, you see someone who's lost, and you see things spiraling and escalating. And you see anxiety, you see fear, you see confusion that is there and awaits you. You see it might be threatening, but it might respond to and seek help. You see, also you see complications in the way the chain moves rather frantically before the table disappears under the bed. Not necessarily to you, or issue.
Right. So complications.
Not necessarily something that would threaten you.
No. maybe.
But it's not an easy situation
No.
to solve and deal with.
Lovely. Okay. Threatening. Okay. I will continue writing for a little while as I get my notes down. So if you want to continue talking.
So you see Bea is writing after she's done that, just dropped her locket over the map, looking at it as it bounced off the table.
It doesn't get less amazing no matter how many times she does this.
Yes, I think Janina's also like she still can comprehend what's Bea doing because it just feels so otherworldly.
So weird. Yes. Threatening but respond to care. Escalation. Once I finish the last word, put my notebook away. That looks like a complicated place, I think is the easiest way. Oh, then duck down and reach under the bed to go and find the locket.
Yeah, you find the locket.
Good. Someone is lost. They're riddled with fear and anxiety. There is a potential that they might be threatening, but they might also respond well to care. So I think going in as gently as we can is a good way to approach this.
Yeah.
There's also high likelihood of complications, but it may not be immediately threatening to us. So something might escalate. Yes. So that was the majority of what I got from that.
It does. Yes, it seems like a Kindred who doesn't really know what happened to him.
Quite possibly.
Yes, it does sound this way.
And escalating, I hope it may create breach. Escalating could be.
Yes, we should avoid this for his sake as much as ours.
Yeah. We'll just go in and be careful and be friendly faces. Put on our charming faces.
I'm nothing but charming.
Exactly.
Let's go.
Yes. And let's.
Yes, it could be wise.
So you set out.
I keep in the shadows for now. I don't. I'm just staying in hiding.
Yeah. No problem. So you leave the hotel and start heading towards the other side of the ravine, and then investigate that Kindred. But the thing before that, we will have a short break because it seems like a good place. So we will be back. Yeah, in about 15 minutes we'll be back. Thank you so much to everyone who's watching. Please stay with us. We're really glad to have you here. 15 minutes.
Bye.
Bye. No, please.
Welcome back. We're so glad that you're still with us. So let's just jump right back into the story. As the coterie Bristol and is walking toward Poniatowski Bridge to cross the Vistula River. You want to feed before you get to the house?
It could be a good idea.
Definitely.
So, well, where do you want to do it? You are walking along. There's quite a bit of people in this street walking back and forth, and then you're gonna turn left and walk straight to Poniatowski Bridge. So you can either go into side street or do this on the other side of the river.
I think on the other side of the river, and maybe make a couple of stops to feed, because feeding all three of us with one person is just not going to work very well.
No.
No, not necessarily.
Not for the person, anyway.
Yes.
Yes.
We've had enough feeding accidents.
No, you.
So as you are on the other side, what draws your attention are the wooden houses below the bridge, to the left of it, to your left as you cross it. There are some people walking between the houses. You might remember that this is like where people you can feed from leave as well.
Okay. I'll turn to the girls. I can grab a quick bite here. I know a few people. So if you don't mind, I'll just nip down there and sort myself up, and then I'll be back. And I'll be able to better.
Yes, we'll wait here.
Excellent.
Thank you. So, yeah, I'll nip down and go see if I spot anyone that I recognize or who recognizes me.
So you start walking around the houses and you hear a baby crying.
What's
and
that, baby?
Okay. As you walk past the house, there is a woman there with a long blonde braid, quite young, who waves at you. Oh, Bear! And she has a baby, like lying on some blankets outside as she's washing some.
Good evening.
Good evening. How have you been? We haven't seen you for the last few days. I missed you.
I missed you too.
I've been making your sandwiches. In case we met you,
That's so sweet.
You know how the others I don't bring food starve, and somebody has to keep make sure everyone's okay.
Of course.
That's my son. Jeffy.
Isn't he a cutie?
Truly is, but I wish he would just go to sleep. She looks tired. The baby is still wailing. There are some other, someone who walks past, gives not very pleasant glance, and then they disappear further, behind their houses.
I'll kneel down next to the baby, and take my locket off and just start dangling it above.
So the baby takes interest and starts reaching for it. He can't quite grab yet, but his eyes try to follow the movement, and he stops crying. Interested noises. No, says, thank you so much. That's
not a problem.
Do you have any children?
No, sadly, none of my own.
No, you must have mentioned. You're just so good. I wish I was so good with this one.
That's all right. I've got several sisters, so I'm well practiced.
Oh, right, yeah. I was the youngest in my family.
Right.
But I guess I was the annoying baby. That's now.
But how are you doing, dear? It must be tiring looking after this little one.
Yeah, well, I complain so much, but it's not bad, really.
It's all right. I'm happy
Me
to
and
hear.
I have a good job. I have a job. We have this house to ourselves. We're very lucky. Many people have half-million buildings. Well, this isn't much, but at least it's a roof over our heads, and we can heat it reasonably well.
Of course. I'll go and sit next to her once the baby is quieted down somewhat, and just sit and talk with her for a little while, and then look for an opportunity to feed.
Yeah. So you chat with her. She asks about how you are. You manage to give an answer that is non-committal, and then make her ask any more questions. Yeah, vague. That's the word I was looking for.
That's all right.
Yes. And she tells you a bit more about her husband, who is like a supervisor with some construction site now, and they were able to get this house for themselves here, and she's very happy about it. That it seems like some other people have to share with other families in the small houses. They have their own to themselves, and you get the opportunity. She to reach for something. You get an opportunity to lean over and bite.
Munch. Yes.
Just roll me stealth and dexterity before that. Just to with difficulty 6, just to make
How
sure. How
subtle can I be?
Yeah, to give you a chance to have that botch.
I might spend willpower on that, because I don't really want to botch on. I don't want to be a third feeding botch in.
That's fair.
3
No,
sessions.
that's unfair.
Well, no one stops you from spending willpower.
That is 2 successes.
No problem. She doesn't notice. And you sink your hands in and drink. The baby starts crying a bit more. But you lay her down. And after a brief moment, she is moving.
I'll see if I can pick up the baby and calm it a little bit while she's waking.
Baby.
Just rock it.
And then the woman moves. Oh, you're really good with him. Oh.
Yes,
What happened? Did I doze off? I'm so tired.
Oh,
I'm so sorry. This is so rude. I'm so tired. He keeps crying most of the way throughout the night. And I still need to go to. I'm sorry. And she gets up, gets a bit lightheaded, sits down, and is like, "Oh, you can give him to me.
Of course.
Would you like some tea or something? Sorry, I didn't even offer you anything.
That's so not a problem. I'm meant to be meeting my sisters, so I should really head off. But it was really lovely catching up with you and meeting this little man.
Oh yeah, I'll say hi to the girls and hope to see you more often.
Yes.
Stay in touch, Bea.
Of course.
We still work in the same place.
Fantastic. I'll be sure to come visit.
And she takes the baby, starts rocking him. He's calmer now. But as you walk away, you hear that he started crying again. What are you doing in the meantime, Janina and Mara? Do you want to hunt as well in this area, or are you just waiting for Bea?
I don't think I want to hunt just with Mara. I want to wait till Bea's back.
Okay, I can't really say anything in my favor on this, so I wait as well.
So it takes a bit of time, but then after a while you see Bea returning.
I've taken out the notebook and I'm making notes again. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Did it go well?
Yes.
Good.
Perfect. Find us something to... Shall we?
Yes, of course. I put the notebook back in my bag a little distractedly.
So you continue. Which way are you going? Are you just going towards the area you were in yesterday, Grachów?
Yes, I think we would.
Yes.
Right, so you again follow the tram tracks. Is it earlier you actually see a tram that passes you? There's quite a few going the opposite direction. And you're looking for someone to feed on, I presume.
Yes.
What
Yes.
is your strategy? How look for someone who is alone? Do you look for a homeless person? Are you do you have any looking around for a good opportunity?
Janina just wants someone who, probably a homeless person, someone who's
Yes.
because normally she would prefer like some man or someone, but now she wants just the easiest one to get.
I
just suppose with
in a park, you see this sort of makeshift tent set up as you're close to Grachów, and you see someone having a bonfire and just sitting there in front of a bonfire. It's one man.
That's an open flame right there.
There is no open flame, but he's alone and he's sort of shielded by the trees. You catch the side of him because you are actively on the lookout.
I turn to Bea and I tell her, can you please help me today with the feeding, because I'm just scared and I don't want to mess it up. And I would prefer if you help me and maybe to feed on him, and so then I could come to him.
I'm
So
not
I didn't
really needing anything to eat, but I can keep his attention if you'd like.
Yes, that's appreciated.
You're very restrained. I don't see why you'd have any problems, but I'm happy to help you if you think it would
Thank
be
you.
beneficial.
I would feel better if you did, and you as well, Mara.
I'm here to help you.
Yes. Well, let's go. I take a couple of coins out of my bag and sort of put them in my pocket and make a move to walk through the park.
Yeah, so man notices you as you're about to emerge from the trees. Hello there.
Oh, good evening.
Good evening. Are you not scared of walking here alone like that?
Should I be?
Well, there's all sorts of types. There's been some murders in the area.
Oh.
Still quite scary times.
Oh, that's awful. I'll move closer to him. And does he have like a cup or a plate or anything for collecting change?
You don't see it here.
Okay.
He has like a plate with some food.
Okay.
Just some bread and kind of very low quality ham that he
That's
put on it. He's looking to you.
Yeah. I'll come over and continue conversation. Oh goodness, I'll be honest, I hadn't really heard about the murders. That's really awful. Are you all right out here by yourself?
That's fine as a man can one's head. I manage. Hopefully there will be some housing available before winter, I would hope.
Maybe this will help. And I hand him some change from my pocket.
He takes it. He looks to you. Oh, thank you very much, miss. I doubt I'd need much more than that to secure any
No, of
place
course,
in
but
this city at the moment. Well, from what I hear, you mostly need to know the right people to get the flat.
oh goodness, yes.
So you're attempting to distract him?
Yes.
I will try to stealthily.
I'm going to be honest. I had assumed that Janina was coming with me, but if that's the case, then what I will.
I thought Janina wanted to sneak up.
Fair
yes,
enough.
I wanted to sneak up.
Yeah,
okay,
that's
fine.
Sorry.
Okay, I just completely misinterpreted. That's fine. So yes, I will try and keep his attention. I'll maybe sit down next to him, away from where Janina is, so that he has to actively look at me to speak. And I'll activate my aura perception, so I know if he's starting to get anxious.
Okay. So first of all, roll charisma and subterfuge. Let's say, with difficulty 6.
Mm-hmm.
You have friendly face.
Does a smooth talker come into this?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, in which case that is 4 successes.
4 successes. His attention is absolutely like at you. He's distracted.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can roll for perception and empathy for aura perception as well. That's 8 difficulty. It's gonna be a lot of rolls.
Yes.
At the same time, Janina, roll me stealth and dexterity with difficulty 5 because he is distracted.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I have 5 successes.
5. All right, yeah. What do you have for aura perception there?
6. I rolled 2 10s.
6. Okay. Well,
I'm getting all my good rolls on these things.
Let's hope we won't need them later.
So you see that he's immortal, first of all.
Good.
You see that he's genuinely happy to talk to you, and there's genuine warmth there, and the kind of warm feeling that someone even took interest in him and his well-being. And he's calm and he's relaxed and enjoys talking to you. And underneath it, there is like some bitterness hidden there. There is anger. There is like deep sadness and deep despair that seem to be his feelings that he carries with him. But in this specific moment, what dominates is the gratitude and happiness that someone took interest in him and actually went out of her way to talk to him. And you look at all that, and as you're doing that and talk to him, Janina, with no problem at all, you can sneak up to him and bite into his neck as he's not suspecting anything, just talking to a kind stranger.
And I'll just continue talking, just as this goes on, as though nothing's happening.
So Janina, I assume you
Just
sneak up to bite him. You want to take just 2. Roll with difficulty 5.
All right.
I believe
I have 10. I have also 10 and other successes.
No problem at all this time. You are perfectly in control. You take as much as you want. You take 2.
Yes.
Yeah. And for a moment there, he is dead. He doesn't quite happen. Janina leaves him and sneaks back. What do you do, Bea?
I just sit and continue talking to him for a bit,
Okay.
not quite
He kind of
noticing.
looks, oh, what happened? Oh, I'm sorry. I must be really tired.
No,
Thank you
that's
so
fine.
much for stopping by. I'd offer you something, but I really don't have much. And
That's not a problem.
well, this is the lousy meal I could find. And he gestured to his plate and reaches for butter with some fair way ham and eats it and still eats it quite happily.
Well, you take care.
Thank you so much.
Maybe I'll see you around.
And they say young people are kind. Thank you so much.
Not a problem. Take care, and I'll head off into the night.
You head off into the night, and you meet up. Janina, you feel better. You're not hungry. How do you feel apart from not hungry after feeding from this man? You heard parts of his conversation with Bea.
I feel anxious. Sneaking up on him, I was definitely anxious and I was worried, and maybe I hesitated for a bit before I bit him. But once I was drinking, of course, everything felt like a bit distant. But then, once I was safely back with Mara, I feel better. That I feel glad that it went so well. Because this was how I was used to feel before.
Yeah.
And I also think about what Zygmunt said.
Yeah.
So that I should work on my self-control as like a means to preserve my humanity. And I don't know, I feel good about this particular event.
No, that makes sense. You were in contact as you wanted to.
Especially because before I was very scared to feed again. But now I feel like it's not impossible. Still, Bea helped me, but maybe next time I can do it on my own. And also not be scared and not mess up. So I generally feel better.
All right. And you gather together on the side of the street, on the pavement near the park.
And I will hug her.
I'll hug back. Feeling quite pleased with myself.
Mara, how about you? What's running through your head? What are you thinking about all the way through this? You are hungry. You see Bea has fed, Janina has fed, and you can't quite ignore the feeling that you'd like to feed as well. I mean, you can try.
Mara, unfortunately, is now quite used to be this hungry. Unfortunately, it's not a strange feeling. She is patiently waiting, but she's not out of patience, but she's starting to get a bit too hungry for comfort, and she wants to finish this whole business with the Kindred quickly.
All right, and you gather together. What's the plan now?
We will find someone for Mara to feed on.
Yes.
Thank you.
It'd be a bit rude to leave you out of the fun.
Let's find someone isolated. Just take a look if anyone again decide to interrupt my meal. Thank you. So I wait to see someone alone in a dark corner. Basically.
Oh, you do, after a while, see a young woman walking on her own. You are now in the area of, narrower streets with smaller houses. And you just see this a young woman. She has her
Mara?
bag over her shoulder.
Pauses
Walks kind
a
of
lit-
slowly, tired.
Mara pauses a little because she remembers that Janina doesn't like feed on women, so she grab get her attention. Is this okay?
Yes, of course. It's better for you to feed. Just go for it.
So I use my old and proved tactic of basically grab from behind, from the shadows.
You can sneak back up on her without any problems, and you bite into her. But roll me self-control. With difficulty
Okay. Difficulty?
5.
2 successes.
No problem. How much do you want to take?
How much can I take? Not
safely.
endangering. Okay. Let's keep safe. I take 2. I lick the wound and I put her in not in the street. I try to.
Well, you can't really do much with her because she is dazed, but she's gonna be coming to. And if you are interacting with her, she is going
If
to see
she's
you. So.
Yes, if she's
So I think you kind
fine.
of have to just kind of lay her down and disappear.
Okay, if she seems fine.
But you see that she starts standing up after
Okay.
a moment.
Okay. Perfect. I'm ready. Let's do this.
Right?
Okay, so you lead them. You have to go past the church and the way you remember the route best. But you don't see the sign of the priest this time as you walk past. And you remember the road you took. You were paying a lot of attention to your surroundings as you were walking. So without much problem now, you follow and you get to the house where you were yesterday. It is partially burned. There is a tree you can climb if you wanted to get in that way. You see some lights that are on again in first floor and basement sort of area, not higher than that.
I'll point the exact house. I'll grudgingly reveal the possibility of climbing the tree and sneak inside if we want. I describe them how the house.
Since we don't have obfuscate, I don't think we want to be climbing.
Also, I think we want to be and not a surprise appearance in their haven.
Just laying the layout of the building in case we need.
All right.
Let's first. I'll take a look if he's alone. There are the others, and so on. Mm-hmm. It would be the best if we meet him alone.
Is there a bench on the street or anything, or anywhere that we could sit?
There isn't really a bench. There was a tree stump, but that was further away. There is a big branch that must have fallen off some tree that's lying there in the street, to the side, which you could sit on.
I think it's all right for us to be a little bit further away, so Janina and I could sit in the street, not looking massively conspicuous, just and not looking like we're watching the house. So
I'll obfuscated. I'll sneak to the house and see how many people and who are there at the moment.
As as you do that, just roll me your wits and stealth with difficulty 7.
I see. No, I don't have specialties. 3 success.
3 successes, okay.
No, two successes.
Oh, okay. So you walk up to the house. You want to look through the windows again?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so you
Very
look
fun.
through a few windows. The curtains are mostly drawn again. You get a glimpse of the man who walked Joanna, the nurse, back yesterday. He's sitting on the couch. You get the glimpse of a muscular man who is talking to the sickly-looking man. The sickly-looking man is glancing towards the window.
Okay, there are the 3 men inside at the moment.
Yeah, you don't see the nurse.
Okay, I go back to the group.
So yeah, Lara, you see them sitting there on a tree branch.
I go. Well, there is no sign of the nurse, but there are the 3 men inside. So maybe they are his ghouls. I don't know.
So how do you want to approach this? Do you, Bea, want to go and maybe see through the window, but maybe but since you don't have obfuscate?
That is the problem.
Yes.
I have an idea. You are at the hospital. You are the nurses yesterday. You could pretend you are looking for the nurse.
What was her name?
Joanna.
Knock the door. Hello, we are here looking for whatever her name.
I suppose, but if she's not there, then they're going to say, oh, she's not here. And if she is there,
Maybe
then
we could say that we are friends and that maybe they could invite us inside to wait
I don't
for
know.
her.
I'd like to know the gentleman's name before we approach him.
Didn't you hear?
No.
Roll me your perception and awareness with difficulty 7. Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay.
And tell me how many successes you have.
3.
Okay. You don't see anything.
Oh, good.
Everything is fine.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Yes. Yes, I would like to be able to approach him in a friendly fashion. I don't want to alarm him. But it'd be good if we could get into contact with him. If he is by himself, well, this city isn't safe to be by oneself.
Yeah. We can just go for the direct approach and just knock, knock.
I get the feeling that's going to put everyone somewhat on edge.
I don't know how to have you getting near the house without being seen.
No, that's a good point. Unless you could give me a crash course and obfuscate in the next 5 minutes, but I think that's unlikely.
I can try, but I don't know. You can. No, I don't know. You can try to sneak. You are a sneaky person normally.
I can be stealthy, but
I mean,
it's easier when you can turn invisible.
Yes, what I mean, you can try to sneak to and take a look through the windows, like without magical help. They see you. It's a pretty. I mean,
You see the door open, and the muscular man steps out.
okay, you don't need to get near. You can look now.
He just sort of stands there by the door.
Okay.
He has his rifle, though.
He's
Okay,
not
good.
He's not our. He's not a vampire. I think. I don't know. Take a look.
Could I
Just-
activate Aura perception on him?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Well, that's
Difficulty 8?
perception and empathy, difficulty 8 always on that.
Yep. 3 successes with
3
110.
successes.
Yep.
There spots in his aura indicating that he's in fact ghoul.
Huh.
And you see that he's a very alert now. He's worried. He's tense and
Sorry?
angry.
Okay. Tell you what, ladies. You stay there. I'll go see if I can smooth things over.
And as you say that, you see a man just appear in front of you. The sickly man that you Mara saw before.
It just appeared.
Yeah.
Oh.
In front of you.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
He seems to have seen me.
You don't think so at the moment.
Okay, so I put myself at his back, so just in case he tries something. Just in
He
case.
looks to you. You are also sick. But why do you want to sneak into my house?
We don't want to sneak into you. We can speak with you, but that
Yes.
has solved a lot of our problems. Thank you
Yes.
for coming and speaking with us.
Thank you.
I knew someone was around.
We're not going to hurt you.
Kind of looks around as if he was looking for something.
So you're quite perceptive. And you...
I don't know, I suppose.
What's your name, mister?
Leonard.
Leonard. I'm Beatrice. It's nice to meet you.
I'm Janina.
Leonard Mazurek. You are like me, you suffer from the same disease.
I wouldn't say I suffer, but we are similar, yes. I think you and I might be more similar than we think. Might we maybe speak somewhere off the street? I think we have a few things to discuss.
Yes, you can come in.
Fantastic. Thank you.
And he needs you.
Would you mind if our friend also came in? She's around.
Yeah, I had a feeling I don't see something.
Yes. No, she's just
Yes,
not.
she can come.
Excellent.
I think we have a lot to discuss.
Of course.
And he leads you towards the door. As he approaches, the muscular man comes up. Are you alright? Who are they? I'm fine. I believe that they can give us some answers that we're looking for. No, well, just say what happened to us. He says to you, in a different way.
Yes, no, I spotted that earlier. Yes, once we're inside, I can give you some more answers regarding that.
Right, we will appreciate that.
Of course.
And
I'll hold the door open for Mara.
Mara deeply appreciate it.
And you all walk in. Leonard leads you. The man with a rifle follows you. And you walk down the corridor. You see there are it's mostly clean here. There are some marks from you think humidity is starting to erode the house, possibly because part of the roof is destroyed and it is leaking. He leads you downstairs toward the basement and the corridor to one of the rooms, and you see a sofa there, a kitchenette, and another man looking to be in his early 30s with receding hairline, rather very tall and thin, just sitting there. Leonard walks in and says, Adam, we have some guests who might be able to, they're also sick. I think they might be able to clear some things up for us. This is my friend Adam. This is Oleg. He gestures to the man with a rifle. Have a seat.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm glad you found your way here through all the danger in the city.
Do you know what happened to, or how it happened?
I got infected, probably from the man who found me when I was wounded.
Which man? Do you recall how he looked?
He walked like a blind man with a cane, but he sewed right into me, and he was quite elegant, older looking. He was crying. He always cried, although nobody could hear. I think he still does and will cry until the end of his days.
Oh.
And there was rage in him, ever-burning rage at the inevitability and at the way the world is ordered. That's how he looked.
I see.
His eyes didn't see my face, but they saw my soul. And he took me somewhere, took care of me. When I was wounded, I thought I would die. But then I couldn't stay there. I had to find my friends. And Oleg, the muscular man, put his arm around him. You did well.
Okay.
Sorry, that got cut off.
Yes.
Oh,
Hear
yeah.
it.
Do you know anything about what happened to him? What this man did to him?
I believe we can. I think we can make some good guesses. As you noticed earlier, I and Janina and our other friend are all like you in that regard. The first thing I must tell you is that outside of the people in this household, this cannot go past that. Do not tell anyone what I'm about to tell you, because we keep it secret for a reason. So we are what is referred to as kindred. We are essentially dead during the day. We require blood to survive. We gain interesting powers. There's also different kinds of us. Now,
that's also nonsense, the muscular man interrupts. Leo isn't dead. I'm not dead.
No, you are something different. Have you drunk any of his blood recently?
Well, he looks like uncomfortable, and Leonard looks visibly uncomfortable.
It's all right.
Adam, the other man, just looks like super tired at this. And it's like, it's all right, tell them. I guess they, I don't know, I don't want to believe any of this, but maybe it will be over. What do you mean it will be over? They're like telling us we're dead. And Leonard puts his hand on his arm. It's all right, let's see what they have to say. He accidentally got some of my blood in his mouth, and I think got infected. And I noticed that blood, for some reason, makes some of the symptoms go away, and I feel better. And I tried giving him. Well, we tried feeding him some, but it didn't work when he tried to drink it. Well, we have a friend who can procure some from hospitals, but then we realized that he feels better when he gets some of mine, and I'm not sure how that works, but It must be a different form of the disease.
Not exactly. So it is a technique which we refer to as Ghouling, and it grants them some of the abilities and strengths that you possess. You must have noticed that you're at least slightly more resistant to injury.
Yeah, I've been in good health. I've been keeping well. But I was always strong.
Quick question. I hold out my arm to him.
Yeah.
And I just say, check my pulse point.
He does.
And I let him feel
but
that I'm
super unconvinced, and he feels like
I let him
you
feel
are
how
very
cold I am.
But well, I'm no medic, but you don't seem healthy to me.
No.
But Leo is also really cold.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
Let's try to look with
Adam just looks. Maybe we should wait until he gets here, and she can. Well, I guess she tried to ask about this condition already. I think. Have you tried going to a hospital, any of you?
Okay.
I really think we should take Leo to a hospital.
You should not do that.
Yes.
Okay. Let's try with a different approach.
Oh, good.
Let's see.
You're in for a surprise. My apologies. In
Don't be
advance.
scared. It's not gonna hurt anyone.
I made my way to the center of the room, so they can see me very well, and I drop obfuscate.
Okay, so you do that. At which point, Oleg just stands up and puts up his rifle, getting ready to shoot you. He doesn't shoot you, but he is prepared to do it in any sign of trouble.
I think definitely jumping in front of Mara in case he would try to shoot her.
I stay seated.
Adam also stands up.
This is what
and you can see that he is now reaching for a gun as well, but he doesn't quite pull it out. But he looks terrified.
I stay
seated. This is what we are. This is what we are talking about. You are not ill. You are not human. This is what we are talking about.
Mara, we're trying to break it to them gently. Please take a seat.
Okay.
Well, none of us look like a bloody demon.
Yes, as I was saying before you started accusing me of lying, we are all of different types.
I'm not saying you're lying. I'm saying you probably don't know what you're talking about yourself.
I have been like this for many years at this point. Please do not question me on this.
Leonard stands up.
Okay.
What they have to say. I told you there's a lot of weird things in the city. You're one of them. He looks to Mara. But I'm not afraid of you.
Lovely.
Oleg just pulls down his rifle. Like, okay, but if they try to hurt you, I'm gonna shoot them.
We're not here.
Adam just rolls his eyes. Let's hope to avoid shooting.
Yes, that
and
would be
Leonard tries to sit Oleg down.
Mm.
Also
My friend
because it's
is a bit
useless.
jumpy. What do you
Okay.
mean it's useless? Do you want to try?
Can we?
I-
I turn to Mara and go, "Can we behave, please?"
Yes, I was
I'll
just
take
stating.
Oleg just
Mara's
like
hand and I will try to seat her.
he just like sees Oleg. He sees Oleg. He's like, don't worry about her. She's mostly talk. She's not really threatening.
I laugh. I just laugh at that.
Yeah, just squeezes her hand more.
Mara glares at him.
He's oblivious to like how you react to it. He states it as a fact.
As I was saying, we are of different kinds. Mara is of a clan that we refer to as Nosferatu. Janina is of Clan Bruja, and I am of Clan Malkavian, and I have a feeling that you and I share a similar bloodline.
I'm not.
You may do. Do you also get visions of
Yes.
things that are coming to destroy us all?
I do. I can see omens in the world around me. I can see things that want to be hidden. I can see the auras of people. I also have started gaining an ability to dull certain senses or increase them.
I've done that. Are you also afraid of darkness? Do you see what hides in it?
That sounds familiar. One moment, please. And I pull out my notebook and start going through it.
There is a darkness. That's why I had to run away. I mean, I needed to fight, fight for our country. But the man who found me, his room was always so dark. He never turned the light on. It wasn't even working. I guess he didn't need it. But it was so dark, and the darkness was reaching for me. And it was suffocating and unforgiving and hungry. Still there, and I know it's still reaching. I don't think it cares for any of you or me, but it wouldn't notice if it crashes under its weight. Do you see it? Are you as scared of it as I am?
You mentioned something about darkness, Hans. But I'm pretty sure of this.
When was that? Do you remember? It'll help me find it.
It was. Mara pauses and looks at Janina, and then she looks at you again. You were outside looking at the sky, at the moon. I don't know. You were pretty upset about what you have some of your premonition, I think. I don't remember your exact words, but it was something
I
about.
see it every time I close my eyes. It's there. It is always there.
The darkness is going to snuff out the light. Yes, I've seen it.
Yeah, yes, that was.
The light, the visionary. That's what it's reaching towards. That's who she's reaching towards. Yes, visionary, to make itself stronger. With him or through him. I'm not sure. Or her. It might be her. I'm also not sure of that. Maybe, I don't know. But there is a visionary, and whoever they are, that's where the darkness is reaching.
The person with vision, reaching further.
Yes, them.
Going deeper, the darkness reaches. Yes, I've seen it too.
So you know.
I will admit I don't know exactly what it means yet, but it's usually a pretty good indication.
I don't know what it means, I just know it's there. as I try to stay away from the shadows.
I don't know. It sounds really bad news to me. I don't like it at all.
Mm.
There's a lot of bad news in this city.
Yes.
People think
You
it's
told
killed,
me.
but it is breaking.
You don't know half of it, believe me.
Sorry, what is breaking?
So many things are breaking.
Uh,
So many things are seeking to break what is. I can't make a sense of it half the time.
It can be a bit overwhelming. I
just
understand.
see things and hear things, and I don't really see or hear them. I just know, but I don't understand what I know, if that makes any sense. I'm sorry.
I'd lean
I'm
forward.
sorry.
Is he close enough that I could take his hand?
You could come up and take his hand, yeah.
I'll kneel in
You need
front
to
of him.
reach a bit, yeah.
I'll kneel in front of him and take his hand. I understand. Apparently it is something that our clan deals with a lot.
Oleknos looks to you with interest. Can you help him?
We can help educate him.
Can you make this hallucinations or visions or whatever he's getting stop?
Not stop, but it can be refined. It can become a blessing when you can learn how to use it effectively.
It's very useful.
Adam comes up closer. He's been like this since we found him during the war.
Yes, I imagine he has.
It got worse. It didn't only get worse. It gets better and then it gets worse. It comes in waves.
Yes.
But there are things I know, and I know that the bombings have awakened the dead in the city.
Oh, good.
And there's something rose from the rubble. I know it's out there.
Only good news.
That is concerning.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Well, the good news is that you're not alone in this city.
No,
there are others of us, and we'd like to help you. It's safer for us to have a community, to be in contact. But be aware there are others of us that are bad news. Especially over this side of
community, good news.
It's safer.
Not for everyone. He says, and then I'm sorry,
That's quite all right.
I need to. I don't really have control over any of this.
We can take you to people that can teach you.
No, we can't take him yet.
Yes.
Mara, remember?
Yes, but
we can help teach you some basics and give you some more answers and teach you how to be safe in the condition that you're in.
Wait, Adam speaks up, just so I get this right. So you're telling me there's a whole community of people who are dead or sick like you are, who live in the city and feed on blood?
Yes, basically.
Wonderful. And he just collapses into the sofa.
Oh, am I getting to the good news? You cannot tell anyone.
Or what?
Of Ace.
We found out about you because you involved the nurse, and she asked the doctor.
Yes,
Then-
Joanna. We told her to ask the doctor. Says
Yes, she has to
Leonard.
stop.
We hoped. I mean, I wasn't sure, but we hoped. Maybe there were cases like this.
I understand. We understand, but she had to stop making questions and
Yes.
talking about this. You have to make absolutely clear to her this.
Because we can help you, but if you start telling people about us, if any of this leaves this room, it's dangerous for all of us.
Yes.
There's a reason that you didn't know about us beforehand.
Yes, you stay in the shadows, behind masks.
Yes.
Well, you're not gonna like. We've been making a lot of inquiries. I don't know. I think Adam talked to some people. Not everything. I made some inquiries with friends from the resistance. Nothing specific. Just whether they heard about some messed up experiments during the war that would produce something similar. It's I've been to a church.
Could you tell us exactly what you've told people?
Well, I spoke to the priest and told him. I tried to ask him about possibility of. You're gonna laugh, but I guess you were telling me you're dead. So, who are you to laugh? I thought he might be possessed or something, and he told me about people having visions and saints and. But I wanted to bring Leo in, but he wouldn't go.
That was probably for the best.
Involving the church would be wise at this point.
Was it the priest behind the hospital, behind the clinic?
Yes, that's the church, yes. Our local church.
Yes.
A good father. I really respect him.
Yes, he is a
leader of the community.
He is a very good priest, and for that reason,
don't go there.
We should be cautious.
Well, I wasn't in a hurry. I was always a man of science, says Leonard.
Good.
And I was like, I've mentioned to people some weird symptoms that he's been having. I think they looked at me. Well, various friends. I'm not gonna rat out my resistant friends to you.
Fair enough.
Not nowadays, certainly.
That's fair. Now we just need to be certain. If there's a way for you to tell them that they don't need to worry about it anymore.
Yes,
that would be.
You're okay now?
Yeah.
Leonard looks to you. This community of yours.
Mm-hmm.
What would they do? They learned that our friends know things.
If they learned that you've been telling pretty much everyone you come into contact with?
Well, I haven't been telling everyone. I've been trying to work out what happened.
Right. Well, I don't imagine it would be pretty. So,
I understand.
That is why we keep things quiet, because out about us, well, you're already all somewhat twitchy about what we've brought to you so far. I say mostly gesturing.
Thank you. Well, my friends are certainly worried, and I am worried for them.
Mm.
And I have your assurance that nothing bad will happen to me or either of us.
I can offer you that on a condition. You must offer your blood to everyone in this household who you're keeping with you.
What does that do? You said it's called ghouling.
Ghouling, yes.
Yes.
Think of it as a blood oath. And I need all of you to promise me and each other that you will not continue to spread this, and you will make efforts to get this out of the community's awareness. At which point I will promise to not tell anyone.
Roll me charisma and leadership.
I am not being entirely truthful. Can I
I
make
know.
Okay.
Yeah, you can make a subterfuge. Okay. Difficulty is going to be 6, but I'm going
to spend a willpower on this.
Okay.
Does smooth this?
Yeah, I'd say it does.
Okay. 2, 6, 7 successes.
7 successes. Okay. Looks to you. I believe you. I must consider what you told me about. I don't particularly want to infect the rest of my friends.
They will not become like you. That I can promise you. The act of turning them into one of us is a much more involved and unpleasant process.
We'll need to discuss this as a group.
Very well. Would you like us to...
You are unhappy, he says, and looks to Mara.
Hmm?
You sound unhappy.
I am.
You carry a lot of pain inside. You don't think you fit in.
Let's just discuss with your friends what you want to do. What I think about the situation will not help you, unfortunately. I'm not happy, but what is done is done.
We'll all discuss it when Joanna gets back.
What time would that be?
Few more hours.
Okay.
At least.
I'm afraid I won't be able to tell you much more about us as a whole in that time, but I can tell you more about yourself, since it will be.
I would appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. So you will have noticed that, as you said, you've noticed that blood is required to sustain oneself. How are you currently achieving that?
Joanna finds some sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I try to sneak up on people.
Mm.
I'm pretty good at that.
Okay. Have there been occasions where you've lost control when you're outside?
During the war and recently.
Right.
But Oleg pulled me off the man.
We've had reports of a man seeming...
Yeah, he went completely crazy. I thought... I don't know, I thought he lost it forever.
That is referred to as a frenzy. It can happen for a multitude of reasons. One of it is hunger. Essentially, it's better to keep oneself topped up and stay as close to full as you can. The hungrier you become, the less control you have. And at that point, you make mistakes. It can also happen out of fear or anger. So, yes, But yes, that was another thing that had got back to us. Is that...
Can you tell me more about what happened to Oleg? You said it's a blood oath.
In that instance, yes. So what has happened to him is that you have shared your own blood. That imbues him with strength. That offers him even some of your abilities. Potentially one of the abilities that you've gained since entering this state, he might actually have access to. What else could you might think? I turn to Oleg. You might think more fondly of him.
Yeah, I mean, he's like one of my best friend.
Yes, that is another. I mean, you were obviously friends before, but that can strengthen that bond.
We were comrades in arms. That's more than that. And
I did not want to presume.
What? So you're saying that I care about him because of this blood that...
No, I'm saying that it
That's it.
strengthens. I'm saying that it strengthens those feelings. You clearly cared about him before.
I did. Leona just looks to you. I need to consider this.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you wish to say?
I look to the girls.
You have good friends.
And we really want to help you to not feel alone in this. But our community has the rules. And you cannot be in it if you don't follow them.
Well, like maybe we should stay on our own. We've done okay so far.
So far, you've blundered around in the dark and made a lot of noise and attention.
Unfortunately, that is not a choice you can make. Other will come.
Yes.
And
yes.
Not everyone is as nice as us.
Yes, there are others that are like us, but they won't care. They won't talk.
They're not. Yes, there is another community is perhaps a nice term for it. They are violent and vicious. They are brutal. And they think nothing of tearing everything you like apart.
You stepped into a dark and dangerous world.
I didn't choose to step into anything. It was that man.
I completely understand. Not many of us has the possibility of choice.
Did you perhaps catch his name? The man? No?
I didn't catch his name. I don't remember. I was too overwhelmed by the darkness.
We will
and he's crying. And his anger.
Choose it or not. Here you are. It's not fair. It's not. It will not be pretty, but there are some perks to our condition.
Mara, roll me charisma and persuasion, just to see how you're coming across. With difficulty 7.
Charisma and persuasion. Striking doesn't apply, I suppose.
No, striking is more if you want to draw someone's attention
difficulty?
to you. 7.
Sorry.
7.
2 successes.
2 successes. All right. So he listens to you.
Here you are. There are some perks to our condition. One, the probably most interesting is that, if you play your cards right, there's a chance, you have a chance to immortality. It's good. It can be good. It's not that bad, isn't it? But you have to be careful. It's not
Nothing
easy.
is and nothing is eternal. The man knew that.
Well,
that's why he was so angry.
Why do you think he turned you?
I think he wanted to take care of me.
Mm.
I was dying. I was pretty wounded in the fighting.
That makes sense.
Well,
See, we can in a sense help people we care about, even if sometimes we have to do it from afar.
yes.
Well, I will consider what you said and discuss it with my friends. And let me give you something from what I've seen. The thing that rose from the rubble. It's coming with streams and with screams and with blood. It gorged itself on worms, and it's there while the darkness is still reaching. It seeks to make things right and restore what was twisted. It seeks to purify what was spoiled and defiled.
I don't like the sound of that.
And it called for others of its kind. And there was an answer. And she came covered in blood. And I could almost see her more beautiful than anything I've ever seen. And there's still the darkness, reaching for the visionary. There's so much going on. I can hear some of their screams and surprise and blood. I'm sorry, even when I think about it, I drift away.
That's all right.
Thank you for sharing this.
I will be honest with you, I don't like the sound of intentionally doing what I unintentionally done to Oleg. But we will consider your request. How can we contact you?
We could meet here tomorrow.
Let's do that.
The same time as today.
You don't need to sneak around this time.
No, we'll knock.
Yes.
We will talk about it.
Of course.
And let you know what we've decided.
Can I roll a perception?
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
to say
Perception and empathy.
to see if they are like, yes, yes, come back tomorrow, and
Yeah.
they're just packing their things in the
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, perception and empathy for all of you who want to roll. Difficulty is 6.
Okay, I will roll 2.
Ooh, 3 successes.
I have 4 successes.
3 successes.
3 successes. So you all see that he's uncertain. Like he hasn't made up his mind either way. He is disturbed by definitely at this point. He's very cautious. He definitely wants to have an option to do something else and to process. He's not like outright lying to you. He more like he still doesn't know. And he wants you to go so that he can talk to people he trusts.
I will look to Bea and do you maybe want to ask Leo if he would like you help to feel more calmer, to remove this anxiety that he has?
Do not do that to me.
I don't think that would be appropriate right now.
All right.
No. But we'll see you tomorrow then.
Yes.
And please don't tell anyone else in the meantime.
No.
I will not. I think you've made yourselves fairly clear on that.
Thank you.
And thank you for being honest.
Our pleasure. Right. Ladies, I think we should head off.
Yes. Good evening.
Good evening to you too. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Worry of the things that hide in the dark. I wouldn't like any of them to get to you.
No, I shouldn't think so. Till tomorrow.
He walks you to the door. Oleg follows, still with a rifle over his shoulder. Keeps a bit to the back, but clearly keeping an eye on you.
Yeah.
And he closes the door behind you. And you leave.
I think we will wait until we reach a few streets back before we...
Maybe like over the bridge.
Yeah.
Then we'll...
Before we...
Yeah, so you start
discuss.
walking towards Hotel Bristol. And you've made reasonable distance from his place.
I would then like to turn around and make sure we're not being followed.
Good.
Roll. Well, perception and alertness. Difficulty 6.
3 successes with the 10.
3 successes. Okay. You don't see anyone following you.
Okay. And no one invisible? It was kind of more my area of expertise.
Right. Well, roll perception and awareness then. Difficulty 7.
I'm going to spend a willpower on that. That's 6 successes.
That's 6 successes. Okay. So you do see that he, as you are walking away, you see him. You don't think like Mara or Janina do. Go to the garden in front of his house and look towards you and walk behind you a bit. But then he just stops and you turn into a more shadowy alley. And he just stops and stays there. Takes a few steps back and starts walking back. For a moment, just staring, kind of very intensely.
I act as though I'm not seeing him. And once I'm sure he's no longer following, I will then say to them, he's not following us anymore.
Good.
Okay. I'll just say this. I think he'll keep his word and we will find him here tomorrow. But if they pack things and go...
Skip town, it's not our problem anymore.
But if
yes,
they move...
but we have to make sure that we cannot lose track of him. Let's put it like this.
We need to tell the sheriff right now.
Just saying. Yes, I think...
we can tell him that we're handling it and that we think that they have potential once they're educated. Because
yes.
I think that he could have potential.
Yes.
I'm not sure about his friends, though. Unless they're Gould.
There is friends either are ghoul or are killed, you know. That is going to be.
I know.
I cannot even begin to express how angry I am at this situation, but it's this again.
Do we have an idea who created him?
Yes, we should.
He's not familiar to me, but perhaps those back at Elysium might know him.
Yeah, maybe Mother.
Felicia or Bruno.
Yes.
I know.
I'm not happy to see him making his best friends who helped him through this his lives. But either that or they die. Once again.
Yeah. Well, let's hope he will decide the right thing, and
but we do need to.
What even is the right thing?
I hope that he will be reasonable.
Yes.
And accept our offer. But we are still going to need to tell the sheriff in advance.
Yes.
I need to tell him before I forget.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Well,
don't need to go off.
You forget, but we remember.
Yes.
Don't worry.
But his warnings are also important, and I need to stress that.
Does it ring any bells to you, Belle? What he said about everything?
It felt familiar, but it was distant, if that makes sense.
Am I back? I'm sorry.
Yes, that's all right. It felt familiar but distant.
You told me about division, but I should start taking notes of your visions too, because
what do you think I've been doing?
Unfortunately, I'm not any good to interpret them. You were just saying darkness approaching. I didn't know what you meant.
We should tell about the warnings from Leo to Felicia. Maybe she will have ideas.
I think if there are someone who can solve this riddle, is your blood, Belle.
We'll find
You-
out.
Your clan is the only one, I think.
We're certainly perceptive, I'll give us that. When we can make sense of what we're seeing.
Leo is quite resourceful. Like, he picked up a lot of things on his own.
Hmm.
I really hope he will be, and he will join and be allowed to join.
Yes.
I think he will, but
He seemed like a good man.
yes, it's just make things worse from a point of view.
So,
Sorry, I'm very bitter
Head back?
about this.
Well, I believe I did say earlier about complications and escalation.
yeah. So, let's go back to the hotel to tell the
Yes.
sheriff about what we
Yes.
find. Maybe, unless he specifically asks for it, let's not give him concrete directions to the others unless he asks for it.
Yes, but I will be telling him all of what we discussed.
Yes. All right.
Yes.
I'm not stupid enough to try to lie to the sheriff.
No, I don't think it's a good idea.
Not when he's been so civil.
Also, I don't know him, but I don't know. I kinda like our sheriff. It seems
I don't
Not-
know him enough to.
not really, not me, but it seems reasonable. I don't think he will just go and scare into that again. The poor man.
All right. Let's not speculate. Let's go back.
Yes.
And you head back without any problems. You reach Hotel Bristol. You get into the lobby. It's still reasonably crowded. As always, there are people drinking, laughing, smoking. Some couples clearly getting ready to head upstairs. You see Mariusz, the ghoul, at the reception.
Does this man sleep?
Works the night shift.
Indeed. I'll go and approach him. Good evening.
Good evening.
I was wondering if Lucian was available for a conversation.
Oh, just give me a moment. I'll make a
Of
call.
course.
And he steps away. You hear him asking, "Is Mr. Topolsky in?" All right. Well, I don't know. I let them know. And he comes back. I'm afraid he's out at the moment.
Very well.
Some business he had to deal with. He's out a lot. I can give him a message that you were looking for him.
Of course. Yes. If we'll be in our rooms, so
Yeah.
if he's looking for
I'm
us.
sorry, madam. What was your name? I do not recall.
Beatrice.
Beatrice. I will let him know as soon as he returns.
You've been most helpful. Let's head back to your room.
Yes.
Excellent.
So you head back to Janina's and Mara's room.
What time it is?
And it's still a few hours in the night. It's still not that late.
Okay.
You just set it off fairly.
Maybe Yumara can go look for Raquel so she could finally introduce you to your dance partner.
Yes. Yes, it could be an interesting distraction. if you can come if you want. I don't think we will discuss secrets of clan.
I'll stay in the room just in case Lucian arrives.
Very, very, very true.
But if you both want to go, you're more than
All
welcome
right.
to.
If you want me with you, Mara, I will gladly go with you. I'm very eager to meet the person that you are admiring so much.
Okay, we can go. Let's go socializing.
Okay.
Don't insult a primogen.
We will never do such a thing. Have a little faith in me.
I'm just hoping he's not gonna be there.
Who?
He practically lives
The
there.
Storyteller.
I think he never leaves.
Also, Bea, you get the impression that you know if Lucian is looking for you and you're not in the room, look for you in the lounge as well. So you
No,
don't
that's
have
fair.
to sit here.
I would like to sit and do some omens in the meantime and
All right.
go
yeah.
through my notes and
No,
collect
absolutely.
my
You
head.
can.
So,
You can absolutely stay in. Just
Yes.
you know.
no, I'm actively looking to stay in and just
Okay.
aggressively read.
All right. No, that's absolutely fair. So you stay in the room, and Mara and Janina head to the lounge. And as you enter, you see the Toreador Primogen with his child sitting by him, looking at him with adoration. He is talking less with her and more with the dark-haired woman whom you've seen around him. They're discussing something calmly. And there's another elegant, handsome man, now dressed in a striped black and gray suit. And he...
These people have no sense of fashion.
Well, that's how people dressed in the 40s. And he looks to you as you enter, and he gives you a broad smile.
I just nod.
You also see Bruno further away, and Rahela and Elisa just talking.
I think.
And as you enter, the man stands up, looks to you. Janina, my muse.
I look at Janina very confused.
He comes up to you, puts his arm around you. Oh, my dear. You inspired me so much the other night when you told us your story that I wrote about you.
Sorry, I didn't hear.
I love you. Please come have a seat. And he's leading you towards a chair, closer to the Toreador Primogen.
I look at Janina.
I will just give her like a glance, like if she, I'm trying to communicate, if she could maybe make Raquela and like, I don't know, like request me so they, you know, I'm trying like with my eyes.
Yeah, I okay.
You can see that Janina is uncomfortable, basically.
Okay, I meet her silent plea for help. Okay, Mara, resist the temptation of just go straight into the Toreador, the Toreador party, and how can I? Okay, she just say to Janina, "I'll be back in a moment."
Smile at her.
I smile and
the man looks to you. Oh, please stay. I'm sure you'd love to hear my work about your wonderful friend.
Oh,
I didn't introduce myself. I'm Fabian Orlikowski. Pleased to meet you.
delighted to meet you too. I am Mara.
Come, Janina,
I
sit.
boo.
Janina, do you resist it in any way, or do you just
No,
follow
I
him?
just- I still remember Bell's words that I should behave, so I just whatever he wants.
I'm
and
so proud.
And I will just
Uh,
do everything. I don't care. Like, I don't have a pride that even if he's gonna say anything, like, I don't really care about him and any of this. So it doesn't mean anything to me. I just don't want to cause any trouble, so I just let him do whatever he wants.
Mara, what do you do?
Mara
You see, when you
smiles.
walk around the room, there's there's Bruno, there's Hela, and Elisa, there's a couple of people you don't know. There's Antoni, whom you notice as well.
Okay, there's in the corner of the smart people that are Bruno and Rahela, and there are someone who is looking at us.
Oh, they are all sort of looking at. Well, Bruno isn't. He's just looking straight ahead. But Rahela and Elisa are sort of looking at what the commotion is. And many people are, generally.
Okay, I try
We
to
are
make
always the show.
make eye contact with the
It's eye
only
contact everywhere.
the Rahela and the other one, please find an excuse to come save us. And then she
I
followed
think next time Janina not going to go.
So you just look to them with a rather helpless expression. Elisa kind of looks a bit uncomfortable. Rahela just shrugs and also looks uncomfortable.
We are okay. Rescue will come. Okay, we are fucked. Let's go.
Okay. Meanwhile, the man sits you down, Janina. Not far from that Primogen, not quite in the circle of toreadors, but like to the side, and they are glancing in your direction. Mikhail with rather disinterested expression.
Okay.
The dark-haired woman rolling her eyes. Anna Maria looks with some sadness, you think. And Fabian sits you down. Listen, Janina, my poem, the newest one, is called Brucha's Quest for Love.
Oh my god. Mara is trying to say to stay unreadable, but she smiles actually with genuinely to Anna Maria, because she seems the more normal of this group of weirdos.
Yeah.
And then try to look not to look like smile. Oh wow, we cannot wait to hear this.
Yeah, and he proceeds to recite a humorous but rather vulgar, and you, Mara, noticed it, expertly, skillfully written and composed poem, which tells the story of a Brucha girl who was looking for love. And he lists various men and women whom she approached, and how she punched them in the face each time instead of declaring her affection. She broke some noses. She bruised some really beautiful people. He's very
I think so far
with
Janina's
words.
like I'm amused inside.
In descriptions. And the conclusion is that was what she thought was language of love. And the poem, which goes into quite vulgar descriptions as well of what this Brucha girl wanted to do, ends with her finding someone who finally responds by punching her back. And as that happens, it causes her a great fright because her desires were empty. And when someone responded in the language she knew, she couldn't even talk.
I will clap.
It is all quite humorous. He bows. Few people do laugh at certain points.
I will say it was glorious. I can totally see myself in it.
Mara, how do you feel about this?
First, an important question.
No. Yeah.
It's the quality of the poem.
Yeah, it's very good. It's
I want to see
Okay.
it, you know?
This is
You have the
proper
right.
level, skillful satire, humorous, very mean.
Okay, Mara is very confused because she appreciates a good poem. So on one side, she is well, this storyteller can have some quality. On the other hand, she's extremely angry they are making fun of Janina because they are Mara starting to understand the politics of this, but she seems to her they are just they are childish. They are picking up on a kindred they know that can't who can't speak against them, and yes, absolutely not any reason to do that.
So you are extremely angry.
She's
Roll
not
me
particular.
self-control, please. With difficulty 7, since you used the word extremely.
Okay, I'll spend willpower.
That's fair.
Because no. Friends in Elysium is not a good idea. 4 successes.
I'm
Yeah,
so
you
proud.
control yourself. You are extremely angry, but you are in control.
Mara smiles, but probably her eyes are that kind of smiles that you are smiling, but your eyes are extremely cruel and cold.
Okay. Janina, what are you feeling?
Janina's if this is the best they can do, that's ridiculous. She's she's generally amused. She doesn't have the pride Mara has. So Janina, this if they knew about Pavel and mocked her about that would hurt her and make her angry. But this is just ridiculous. So she just lets them have it, and she will clasp and seem to really enjoy it. Fake that she.
He makes a bow.
Oh, it was perfect. I can see myself in it.
I would think
glad.
so. It is based on you. You inspire me so much.
That's so good to hear.
You and your friendship, and he gestures towards you, Mara, but doesn't even look to you.
Just stare at him for a very long moment.
I will ask him, can I read any other of your poems? I would love to hear them. And I express general interest.
Oh. Well, I'm sure I can do something appropriate. What would you be interested in reading about?
anything that you think would fit me and my friendship with Mara.
I might have to write something special occasion.
I bet Mara is like a yes, just face because it's just say the moment Janina said that Mara is like, oh my god. But she's not.
Well, Janina, I'm glad to see you so pleased. I also provide you with a written copy. I'm sure you'll appreciate that.
Thank you. I will frame it and hang it in my haven.
I wouldn't expect anything less. I might stop by and check.
Yes.
He gives you a smile. Well, I need to go back to some conversations I've been having.
Thank you for this beautiful, amusing poem about my life. I really loved it.
Well, your life is an inspiration.
Thank you.
I'm sure.
I hope I will help you inspire much more.
Yes.
I have no doubt about that.
Yes.
And he gives you a look and smiles, and it's not entirely pleasant smile. There's something predatory in it.
I'm sure.
Something very vicious. And then he
I'm
turns and he
I'm sure.
sits near the Primogen.
Okay, I will take Mara and we'll go to see Raquel. And I whisper to her, I'm sorry.
Meanwhile, there, you made sure you stayed on your own.
Yes.
You missed all of this, you know.
I did miss all of this, and honestly, I'm kind of glad I did.
Yes.
I've been taking more in-depth notes, tidying my notes up, just making sure that everything is very neat and tidy and orderly, and that I know exactly what I'm talking about whenever I do have to tell anyone about it. And then once that is finished, I will pull out the several days old newspaper that's in my bag and just tear one of the pages out and start shredding it, and then just throw them in the air and wait for the words to fall.
Is there anything specific you want insight about, or is it just general?
The darkness.
The darkness. Right. Roll perception and awareness. Difficulty would be 8.
Two successes.
2 successes.
Not my best.
So you see. No, it's not. So the words that you see, you're thinking about the darkness. You see the word growing. You see the word expansion. You see the word feed.
Oh, I think we've lost her.
Oh, do you hear me now?
Yes. I got
Yeah,
growing,
so-
expansion, and feed, and that was the last.
Growing, expansion, feed, and faith.
And then I sit back in the room, surrounded by shredded pieces of newspaper that are slowly floating through the air, and just kind of sit there and stare into the middle distance.
Who's going through your head as you sit there?
Concern. Just this image of a void. And then there's also just the sound of a baby crying the back somewhere. And I turn my thoughts towards that because it's easier than looking at the void. And I start to ponder the baby. And how apparently I was good with it.
Yes, and you remember the question, do you have children? And you remember answering no, and you feel sort of uneasy. And your hand goes to your locket as you do that.
Suddenly feel a sort of bubbling feeling of anger at the fact that I can't remember. And I kind of want to break something, but I'm in a hotel room and it's not mine, and I shouldn't break anything.
So you sit there full of emotions, grasping your locket. Meanwhile, Mara and Janina, you approach Rahela and Elisa. Elisa just gives you this kind of look.
Yes.
I
Can't
shake
wait.
my head and just smile.
Can't wait for the next poem.
Well, he makes poems about many people. I deserved mine at some point. So don't worry,
I don't worry
says
about
Elisa.
I think it was amusing.
Worried is not the right word.
Rahela looks to you. You are very angry. Should we go
Yeah.
away from here?
I was actually poetry isn't what I had in mind for this evening. Actually, we were told that you know a great dancer.
Oh, Dominik Savitsky.
Yes.
Oh. Yes, I'll take you to him. If you want.
Yes, me and Janina were actually here to see him, and not for the poetry.
Right. Yeah, I think I know where he'll be hanging out at this time. Do you want to come? She asks Elisa. I'm quite all right. I think I'll go back to my room. Stop by later if you want. I'll try to. And Elisa ends up. It's good to see you.
Goodbye.
Rahela. All right, come. I'll show you to him. He's really good.
I know it's not the right word. I know his fame from when he was mortal, so I have no doubt.
Well, come on.
Absolutely.
He's nice, just doesn't really interact with many people. But he talks to me sometimes. And she starts heading out of the lounge.
I follow her.
Fabian just waves at you as you're leaving and gives you another smile.
I wink at him, but not actually. Mara's eyes remain quite cold.
How about you, Nina? Do you respond at all?
I just wave at him and slightly smile. Nothing excessive, just like...
He blows you a kiss.
I just smile and ignore the rest of it.
And you leave the lounge. And Rahela leads you down the corridor, and then she actually opens sort of side door that leads to the staircase that you think is used by the staff, not part of the hotel accessible to guests. And she leads you up it, and along the corridor and up another staircase. And as you're going up, you start hearing a violin music. Very fast, very manic, full of pain, very beautiful.
Oh,
Not a comp heard before. And it just sounds through the corridors as you're walking. And Rahela, well, I think he's dancing or listening. We shouldn't interrupt. But he wouldn't mind if you have a look.
absolutely. I'm not going. I'll never interrupt something beautiful.
And she leads you up another staircase and gets to... It's colder here. You can see that it's colder, as if some wind was getting in. And there is a door in front of you, just one. And she walks up to it and opens it. And you see, in a slightly dusty attic room, with one window broken, on the red carpets that are now kind of dirty, with some holes, the same about draperies on the walls. You see a woman in an elegant dark blue dress playing a violin. She has blonde hair.
Man, please, can you please?
Oh, sorry.
You all froze for me, like, in the most important minute. Like, can you please repeat, like, 2 minutes ago?
What was the last thing you heard?
The opening the door.
All right, so Rahela opens the door. You see the dusty attic room.
Yeah.
One window is broken. There's some red carpets that are now kind of dirty, dusty. And there's a woman in an elegant dark blue dress with blonde hair pinned up, quite pretty, playing a violin, completely focused. She just glances towards you as you enter, but doesn't interrupt in any way. And in the center of the room, you see a figure dressed in an elegant, tight ballet dancer costume and a white shirt. And it is a Nosferatu, looking unhealthily pale, with skin clinging very tightly to his muscles, and grayish-blue veins visible on his hands, and
Oh no.
all the way looking almost skeletal. He has no hair, just bumps on his head, and sort of uneven surface. His eyes seem too big, and he's dancing. And he's dancing beautifully, skillfully, moving, you would swear, faster than you'd think is possible, or than you ever have seen someone matching the manic fast music. And it's hypnotizing and mesmerizing. He's excellent.
Oh,
And I think this is a good moment to end, as Bea is sitting in your room with thoughts, and you're looking at the performance by Dominique. Thank you so much for playing. Thank you to everyone who's been watching. We're so glad to have you with us for the story. I really hope you enjoyed it. We will be back in 2 weeks, which I believe will be 9th of March, at the same time, 6:30 p.m. GMT. Here on the Lamias Twitch. So hope to see you again. And once again, thank you so much for joining.
Thank
See you in
you.
2 weeks.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.